So today there's been like an ongoing theme that I've been noticing, which is really cool, It's really like obvious, and yet I feel as though like I've totally missed it until like today, which is kind of noticing how often we say I. Well, it's kind of like in all of our vocabulary revolves around I, me, this is what I do, this is my problem, this is what I'd like, I. And it kind of just dawned upon me that it's possible to just not take ownership for anything. So not say that I'm doing this. Just not say anything. Not just externally, but internally. It's probably the big change that we can make. Because externally, we still have to communicate with the world. And we might, out of habit, say I and all this kind of things. But internally, at least, say just something simple as this, the hand moving. Now, if we take it with a knife, we take honesty as a knife, and we say, what's honestly happening? Can we say that there is this entity called I that is moving the hand, that is speaking? Well, honestly, it takes honesty to really see this. Honestly, no, we can't say that. It's all occurs and it is observed. Even that, we could even take that further and say, it seems to be that there are things happening and I can see them, but I don't understand them at all. So there are things happening, and that's really the only honest thing. To say I am moving my hand, to say I am speaking, is like an additional layer on top of that which is going on, that which is. You have that which is, and then above that which is observable, let's say, just for linguistic convenience. You have that which is observable, above that which is observable, like added on as an additional layer, in the same sense that you've got like a footy game or a soccer game or a cricket game, whatever tennis game, whatever sport you play or you enjoy watching. You've got the game going on, and then above it you've got the actual commentators. You've got the commentators, talking about it, making it into a show, describing it, telling you what's going on. It was the same thing here. It's like there's that which is going on, and it's silent. There is nothing to say about it. It doesn't speak. It's just self-evident. It's there. Then comes the I. Then comes the hypothesis. Then comes the belief systems. They come in on top of that. So prior to the belief systems, prior to taking ownership to things, there's just this silent space of awareness. And as I, for linguistic convenience, as this has been occurring, as I've just been noticing, as these things have been popping up in awareness, that's the most honest thing that can be said, then there's like this automatic transition to the seat of the observer. It's like life is happening, things are happening, but there isn't an involvement in them, even in the seeming problems, even in the seeming inner conflict. It's like, okay, it's there. I don't really understand it. There's some sort of feeling underlying it, but it's almost like everything's kind of just like unfolding as a movie. It's like everything is enveloped in a frame of stillness, and there's movement going on within the stillness, but like it becomes more apparent that, well, I, if we can say any I is the stillness. I is the stillness. Anyway, so the reason I share this with you, to make this practical, is really to do with honesty. To really just notice that it's just a hypothesis, it's just a belief system to say that I do anything, that I think, that I move, that I this, I that. This is honestly is just a belief system. So it may not even be true. In fact, if we listen to the great teachers, we're told that this isn't true. There isn't such an I. I doesn't exist. The personal I, the personal self doesn't even exist. It's just a vanity to say I. Really, because the ego's job is to take credit for that which there isn't anything to take credit for. And what's more vain than taking credit for this stuff that's occurring of itself and saying, I did that? So I've just been noticing it in the vocabulary, really, again, making this practical. All the problems, any problem you can think of, always revolves around I. And yet I is probably the greatest assumption that there is, that there even is this I, that there is this entity called I, age 22, whatever. But, is there even this entity, or is everything just occurring spontaneously, automatically, of its own? I don't, let you find out for yourself. Just inquire into it. You don't need to know the answer. You just have to be willing to see it and ask, Lord, what is going on here? I can see things, but I don't really understand them. And then that inquiry, that willingness to see the answer will sooner or later pull towards these cool things that you just kind of notice. You being a linguistic convenience. They just come up and you're like, oh, cool, that's cool. Anyway, that's how it is for me right now. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I'm also going to drop this in for the So What Insight. So if you're watching this on the Facebook page, hello. If you're watching this on the YouTube, then you can click below if you'd like to learn what this So What thing is. Thank you for watching this video. I'm in my bathroom. So what? I'll see you in the next one.